Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be playing some more Esoteric Ebb. Last time we were in Snell's Pad. We're going to still be in Snell's Pad, but we're trying to find Waterlane because there's a lot of stuff that seems to be happening at Waterlane. So let's see if we can find where we're going, because clearly we don't know much at this point. We're supposed to find Frank of Franks, I think was the name. Oh, any key to continue. Okay, Snow, I'm done with your pad, so we're gonna leave. We were gonna see if there was a way down to Waterlane from here. Winding path leads outside eventually. Well, it's kind of the only way down. So maybe? Yeah? Okay. Smells moldy and damp. Great. Oh, that leads us back here. Well, that's not helpful. Okay, what did I miss? I missed something. Divine intervention. Oh, so like there is only one way. And that was it? Okay, so I came from here. Let's see what's upstairs, I guess. Dormitory out of commission. Okay. Is it just light? I guess it's just light. I can't get up the stairs. Radius. Okay. The girl looks across the chasm. She is pretending to not look at you. Thank you, Wisdom. I'm just gonna clear my throat. She slowly turns her head towards you. What? You were looking at me. Your name? You are loitering here. Why? Where are we? What's your favorite color? What do you think I'm going to ask you? I could be really like just out there, can't I? If I just like, what are we doing? What do you think I'm going to ask you? I'm going to say, why were you looking at me? I wasn't. How rude. Cool. You're very rude. Sure, now go away. What do you know about the tea shop mysterious woman? What are you voting in the election? I want to ask you some personal questions, but I have a feeling you won't respond in a meaningful way. What do you know about the tea shop mysterious woman? She rolls her eyes. It exploded. Everyone keeps saying that. Why do you say that? Lies. Why do you say that? Have you seen it? I get the feeling you don't want to talk about it. Don't have anything to say. What are you voting in the election? Don't care for it. The election, democracy, your own vote. Good choice, I don't care either. Your own vote? It doesn't matter. And I wouldn't tell you if it did. Well, I'm voting, and then it gives me all my options. I see, you're also voting for me. I agree with you. I'm apolitical on good days. Oh, okay. I don't care. I want to ask you a personal question, but I have a feeling you're not going to respond in a meaningful way. You become even more apolitical. Gain 15 XP for choosing this political stance 3 times. Smart. Can you go now? I guess. What is this? The tenor to Waterlane! Yay! Okay, we're gonna finally get to Waterlane. Maybe we'll get some things answered, but I have a feeling we're gonna get nothing answered, and it's not gonna be great. It'll be wonderful. No, I was trying to get to this dude over here. I guess that dude has nothing for me. What is this? A note on the door says, opens at sundown. Democratic propaganda. The street sign says Upper W View, Lower W Docks. I can't talk to these fine folk. Is this a door that I can... Door looks promising. Sure. I might as well. You stand before a damp door on a cramped corner house. The wood is dark, swollen with the perpetual moist of Waterlane. A layer of river mud and algae. Thank you, Constitution. You know someone here? No? Yes? Knock on the door? Just leave. I'm going to say no. Why are you standing here? You rap your knuckles against the wood. A solid, rhythmic knock. Well, thank you, dexterity. I'm just going to wait. A moment passes. Then the sound of a heavy latch sliding. The door creaks open. A pair of bulbous eyes stare up at you. It is an Anuran. Anura, a nomadic amphibian people, one of the oldest folk type on the coast, sometimes referred to as the last beasts of yore. I know how, like, it's not que sera, it's que es que es. It's more French. It's not the like pourquoi. It's what is it? I can't remember how to say that properly. I'm sorry. He blinks slowly. A translucent membrane flicks across his eyes. I'm busy. Press occupy. Just passing by, I wanted to introduce myself. I have some questions. I'm going to say I want to introduce myself. Mon Dieu? Why? Wait. He squints at your uniform. Yay. Are you a, how do you say, le clerc? That doesn't sound like Uth's tongue. Yes, I'm a cleric. I'm the cleric. More of a wizard, really, but sure. I like to see myself as a dashing rogue personality. This sounds so pompous. I'm going to say more of a wizard. Un magician. He wrinkles his face. I don't know the difference. I don't care, frankly. A simpleton. How sad. The unknown peeks his head out behind the door. Avec quoi? Charisma. Ask for a contribution to your cause. Why do you ask if I'm a clerk? I think that's the one I want to ask. Because you smell of incense and self-righteousness. C'est evidente. Imbecile. Rude, but accurate. That's fair intelligence. What's your name? I am Guillemund de Crete. Great name. What does it mean? Oh, so that's where they get it from. I don't understand. I'm just going to say great name. Merci. What do you do here? I live here. Just vis ici. I am butchering French really badly. Is that a crime now? Is this Mondit City? He seems so defensive. It's a nice house. No, It is, as you say, shit. Temporary, until I can take the next ship home. He gestures vaguely to the port. Let's see what our... Oh, the failure. Great. You clear your throat. Look, buddy, hand over some goods. Direct. Perhaps too direct. The on your eyes narrow. Pardon? You beg at my door? Especially the chichon. So that's a no? I'm just gonna shrug. Is that all you wanted, to bother and beg? Yeah, I guess so. Good. Au revoir. The door clicks shut. So you really just went and knocked on some stranger's door. Look, I'm not going to knock on your methods too much, but if you keep this up, we're going to be done by 6 months after the election. And you didn't even ask about the tea shop, not once. I didn't? Don't be so negative. You're right, let's just focus. I just had a feeling this door was important, was all. The goblin closes his eyes for a short, silent, contemplation. Then he says, maybe stick to les points d'interest, okay? That's funny. I like that. But it's making the bin is making a sound, a strange sound. How strange? I don't know. Rai roof roof. Madi roof. The voice is from a primal spirit. Open it. Look to Snell. Open the trash can. Just walk. Sure. Wisdom says open it. Who am I gonna like now? If dexterity or maybe constitution said open it, I might be a little more concerned. As you lift it aside, you immediately see something move in a pile of shredded documents and old scraps of food. A pair of legs. Cymorth. Suddenly, jumping out of the pile with a poof of moldy dust is a pine cone? A pine cone with limbs. I gained incense. Okay. Its hands use some leaves while doing a strange, seemingly improvisational dance upon the trash. Wait, are you one of those? Did you just hand me trash? I'm going to say, wait, are you one of those? Before you're able to do anything about it, the little creature poofs away. One of nature's essential workers. A blessing to meet it in the wild. Well, I'm glad Wisdom thinks so. Disgusting little creatures. Well, great. Thanks, Intelligence. I wasn't asking you. As it fades, you only see trash. I've heard about those things. Never seen them, though. What do you know about them? Just what I read in the paper and what Nessun goes on about. They're called Vatar or something. The Lamplighters Guild had a public spat with them a couple months back. He points to the lamps behind you. So not everlasting then. That's not allowed. The city needs those lamps. Guess it's a PR name. I get why they were mad, but I think they solved everything once the PCG got involved. And they're supposed to be all over the garden too, not that I've ever seen one. Anyhow, they clearly seem to like you. Let's keep it that way. Look to Snell. I think we can walk away. What is this? We are closed for today. Our AR staff. Okay. Oh, that has a big piece of door next to it. Something flashed, though. I thought. You kind of have to bring your mouths everywhere in order to see if there's somebody to talk to. You know? What is this? These pipes connect with the vast sewer system of Tolstad. Okay. Oh, what's this? What's this? What's this? A statue of Earth. You approach the shrine. And yes, this little figurine does still count as a shrine. Should I move it? It's like in the middle of the road. Pray. What other gods are there? Prepare spells. Wait, can't I heal here through some divine assurance or something? Not precisely. I really do need to heal. The gods do not usually grant divine intervention for minor injuries. Do you think they care? If you want healing, you have to do it yourself. With the power channeled through Earth? Yes. Come on. Is it really channeled? This guy's dead. Faded. Gone. You're most likely simply handling some esoteric leftovers smudged on the strings. We're going to attempt a prayer anyway. Oh my. Oh, yes. You focus your mind on the Earth symbol, his red eye, and you remember the words. Chant, watch upon me, Earth, shepherd of his folk. Let me pick up the burden, lend me your strength. You are filled with the power of nostalgia and power. Woot woot! You feel reinvigorated. This is it. This is prayer of healing. Yes, indeed. Ooh. I got a new thing. Okay. I'm just gonna say I'm done here. It's fine. What is this? The never sleeping docks of Waterlane right below. Conquest by river, by land, by heart. What is down here? Path along the waterway. Okay, well. As you reach certain thresholds of experience, you are able to level up. There's a regular non-giant crab. All right. You spot a crab on the rock. It's not really on the rock, but okay. Official name. Korean crawler. It does a little shimmy. Yes, clerk, this is a crab. Pet the crab. I gained experience. Go me. You reach forth and the crab immediately snips onto your finger. Huh? The crab pinches your finger, grip your finger hard. Hard. Oh, DC was 19. I don't know that strength was going to make that. Your index finger will soon come off. I don't know that that's correct, but it's not wrong. Okay, get out of... Please let go, Mr. Crab. Snell, call for help. I'm being assaulted by a crab I tried to pet. I'm going to say please let go. It says... It does not let go. Being polite always helps. Speak with animal would get you out of this match much easier. Well, I guess we're going to try for a DC 8. Oh, I made it. You use your free hand to pry the pinchers off your finger. When your index is released, you immediately feel the blood begin to flow once more. Freedom! Thank you, dexterity. He has a good little fighter. A good crab. Are you allowed to loiter? What do you know about the tea shop? What are you voting in the citizens? Are you allowed to loiter? It does not spawn. I'm just going to see if it spawns anything. What do you know about the tea shop? It snips with its pincers once. What's that, Krabby? Johnny Longneck blew up the tea shop? Damn, guess we'll have to find him. Longneck, not again. Longneck the pirate? The one and only. Also, I'm joking. Please do not take that seriously. We're not going into the Recidian water wastes to seek out Johnny Longneck's crashed site. Spoil sport. What are you voting in the election? The crab makes no reply. All right. We will leave the crab alone. All right. Roller Mill Upper Oosted. The roller mill workers kept more than ledgers in their archive. Doors barred, not getting in here. Gods, there's several stale baked goods. I don't know that I want stale baked goods, but hey, I will take incense. Can I go up? You glance at the ladder. One hell of a climb. What kind of man, no, what kind of human cannot climb a simple ladder for 20 short feet? It would be embarrassing for anyone, if of any age, if to fail this. Great, thanks, strength. All right, let's attempt it. Oh, nat 20. Take the confident step onto the ladder. You begin the climb. You close your eyes as you do in order to fully immerse yourself in the experience of changing your elevation. Scary. But within a moment, you are at the top of the ladder. Gods, you're slow. Can we get moving now? Sure. A bunch of site safety rules. Then it says, if broken, contact your local union representative. Is there anything else here? Oh, hey, look, there is something there. Something stuck to the gear. I'm going to try to trifle, I think, when it gets a little closer. Oh. You swipe in a hand. You swipe in a hand and pull it back. Pull it back now. It doesn't seem to do anything. What? It's stuck. What? Yeah, this is bad. Oh, your fingers. Your gods be damned fingers. The pain blinds you, but you feel it. The fall. You hit the ground. Oh, death is happening. I saved. Well, you're alive. Somehow. That was fucking awful. But it was so close. Cleric, what the hell? The goblin lets out an exasperated groan. Be more careful, okay? Next time. Come on, you gotta try it again, don't you? Yeah, I do. I think. Okay, hold on. We're gonna try it one more time. Because I do want to get up. A long way to climb. Thank the gods you don't have to try so hard this time. You take the first step onto the ladder and then you are at the top. Let's go. Do I have in my inventory anything that's gonna heal me? Because I really, really, really would like something that would heal me. Oh, let's consume that. That would be greatly helpful. And hopefully not kill us this time. The cogs keep spinning, but you notice something. The shiny red thing stuck in the inner part of the top wheel. The dindium. That's what it's called. The dindium. As you approach the cog, the sticky red, something sticky gets stuck to it. You stress cube. You approach the cog and the red sticky thing stuck to it. In the dindium. Thank you, intelligence. Oh, that's a 18. I don't think I will return because that is real problematic. Okay, let's go to the roof. Let's see what the roof will give us. Oh, there's somebody on the roof? Oh, hey, there's something else here. A letter wedged between some of the roof tiles. Resistance notice. Examine. A handwritten note entitled Important Notice. Young and Dumb updated. Ooh, to resistance members of Tolstead. Read the note. You've never heard about a resistance. You ever heard about a resistance, Nell? Yeah, the Norvik resistance or whatever. Minor organization, basically a bunch of human kids causing trouble. I only know of them because they wiped away some goblin graffiti a couple months ago. I went and talked with one of their moms, nice old lady in East Housing. After that, we didn't have any more trouble. They're agalist, nationalists, I think. Bunch of boys. Human boys tend to lean nationalistic for certain reasons. Yes, obviously. Roll your eyes despite the fact that he cannot see it. Boys can be non-fascist. It's possible. Let's just say obviously. He squints. Are you rolling your eyes? Yes, roll your eyes again. I'm just going to say yes. Ah, okay. It looked like you had some type of neck problem. But it's fine. Keep at it. Let's read the note. Tonight's ting is canceled. Meet up tonight on Waterlane instead. It's time to stop the chant. It's signed by R. The Chant, a locally produced newspaper by Asgal authors. You know what Waterlane is. Don't be stupid. It's right down below, the underground port, largest port in the city. Closest path is probably through Pillar Crossing. When's this meeting? This evening, it seems. Tonight should mean something like between 1900 and midnight or something. Right, interesting. A bit too scary, too. Young people should not be running around. They could hurt themselves. Thank you, Strength. I'll stop looking now. Oh, there's something in that one. Like an arrow. You see it? It must be coming up. Yeah, right there. An arrow. Interesting. Well, at least I can't fall off the roof. That's a positive, right? And I guess he's not technically on the roof. He's adjacent to the roof. Lady Charmon, Mountain Lamb. I cannot reach her from here. That's fair. I mean, I am on top of the roof. Let's see if we can get down without, killing ourselves. You approach the ladder once more. It's a long way to fall. Thank the gods you don't have to try so hard this time. Climb the ladder. You take the first step on the ladder, and then you are at the bottom of the ladder. So let's go. Let us see what there is to see, shall we? We'll leave the blue crab alone. A little more apolitical than I am an Asgalus. And I got a little warlock and a little wizard and a little cleric in me. I think that's all I was supposed to look at there. Journal. My spell book. Okay. Let us get back at this. Okay. What else can Waterlane show us? coming out of there. It's interesting that the only person I can talk to is the person in the thingy-wingy. I know you're closed today, but I would like you to be open. It would be very, very nice. Stairs down to the bustling docks. Well, let's take the stairs down. Maybe. I guess I cannot take the stairs down. Opens at sundown. Well, it's 3 o'clock. It's close enough. Is it not? The first of the river guilds. Oh. Hey, look. There were those water people elementals. The Ashkani Reeds Trading Company. I didn't read all of that. With that signature Free Strider logo. Can't talk to them. Oh. I got money. Oh. Beware those fangs and the rest too. You approach a ball of feathers and wings and really, really sharp claws. A griffin. A magnificent creature. This is a griffin. It is a somewhat intelligent magical beast. And you will require speak with animals to communicate properly. You see a pool of drool forming beneath the open beak of the beast. Wait, look behind it. There's an entrance to the warehouse on the other roof. If you want to get inside, you're going to have to get past this bad boy. The mythical beast snores gently before you. I don't even want to ask what the plan is here. What a majestic creature. Snell, don't you want to pet it? Attempt to pet the beast. I don't have an 18 to wake the animal and understand it. Okay, I've come to the conclusion I should not engage this beast right now because I don't think... I do not have speak with animals. Seems shut for the day. Alright, fine. But it seems like I want to get in there. Including the anti-magic messaging, free striderism comes with great something or another. What is this? Office of Snore and Pian. I don't know what Pian means. But he's sleeping, so that's what it means. A magic quill and paper. Something stuck between the pages. I mean, he's sleeping. Dream patch. Ooh, my. Almost dead, but not yet. Scholarly. Something, but not good enough that I can read it again. Collection of books, political mostly. You see a collection of books from the philosophy canon, none of which you are able to really understand. Next to them, a line of famous political books, as Gallist theory, Hedonists, the dark book of shadow, Alexandro, and many more. Sure. Alexandro. This was the first book placed in your hands as an Oath folk recruit. Open it. It's old, worn copy of the same text, musing about the divine era of great walking gods and their theocratic states. A history lesson morphing into a series of guidelines. How modern leaders, as a response to drawn-out coast war, should return to the old. The proven, the organized, the divine. although written from the perspective of not faith nor service to the holy, but rather that of service to the state. A modern theocratic vision, the nation as an entity not bound by the protection of lifetime of its God. Instead, the nation state will survive on unifying the cultural traits passed down from that God to his people. This, Alexandro writes, will fasten them into the earth, creating firm groundings for the state to exist beyond any others. The later chapters go on to describe his dream of the Millennium Empire, his grand plan, a nation to survive the passing of eras, a collection of ideas he gathers in his dream, and ideology. Without the weakness of monarchy, the ideology structured around order, without the weakness of monarchy, the chaotic of democracy, or the esoteric dependence of magrocracy, the Millennium Empire, the fascist ideal. A good book. It's almost like he wrote directly about the struggles of today's Norvik. Dangerous ideas. Fascism has led many cities astray in reads. We're just going to say that. Whatever your thoughts are, this book is used to reshape the city. You live in fear of where its path will lead. Nope, sorry, Faith. I don't. Oh my goodness. I got the case of the yawns. Jeez Louise. Okay. Just remember, it was written by a gnome. It was what? Alexandro was a gnome. He tried using the so-called fasci di Caroteri, the great mercenary warlords of Old Demonor, to bring order to the neglected parts of the band. An esoteric divide splits the circular coast of Yor into 8 geographic areas, commonly known as bands. Each band has unique esoteric and natural traits and stretches from the coast to the infinite wastes. He was, however, ultimately destroyed by the same warlords he created when his followers failed in their coup of Salvini. Ironically, the responsible squad reportedly did not realize who they had killed at first. They had simply been hunting down any non-human in the city. This was not openly spoken about during your training, but yes, it is true. Something to ponder. His followers misunderstood his message then. That is indeed very ironic. Indeed it is. You close it and place it back in its spot. I don't know if I want to read too many of the other books. Children's drawings on the wall. All right. Janur Appleton. Okay, let's... You take a step into the cramped office, standing in front of a sleeping halfling. This is a scholar? Curse the gods. Go investigate his book collection before waking the lazy halfling. Really? All right, fine. I will go look at the other books. Blind Manifesto by Hedonist. The book. The book. Always listen to your hungry stomach. It says with big ugly letters on the first page. You should listen to the book. And the stomach. Thank you, Constitution. This is crazy old text, this wonderful manual, this foul debauchery. We're going to call it a crazy old text. Same as always, the book begins with a tirade about property ownership. Then on the 5th page, you find a diagram showing how to ritualistically summon a demon. It's incorrect, however, on purpose, supposedly. The purpose is metaphoric criticism of authoritarian governments. The rest of The rest is a series of extreme essays on the topics of hedonism, rejection of statehood, free association, maximizing sensation, direct democracy, and reciprocal exchange. It paints up an image of an ideal world where all can live without strife, simply through the cooperation and love of all things. Thank you, hippieism. A loving image, communally loving. Made illegal in many cities after its release in 466 AE, this rambling text has survived for one reason or another. Look at the chapter on free love. Why not? You flip to pages 52. You remember it well. It has pictures. Tiny scribblings, something akin to stick figures positioned in various enwrapped unities. You remember the words well. The guide on how to make ultimate sensations of flesh. Kinda hot in a sad way. Close the book. Reading filth like this will only darken your mind. Hedonists are back on the shelf. Okay, Memoirs of the Statesman. The first few pages are devoted to a rambling text about the history of governing. From ancient texts from various beasts of yore to gods of the divine era to several arcanus figures, Darrowing then smoothly moves on to conflagate their accomplishments with his own. Especially since he also includes an explanation of his lineage, that he is a direct firstborn grandson of Bargo Darrow, the first paladin of Orth. It is not so subtle. The many pages go on to describe both practical but mostly theoretical methods a statesman should use when dealing with the populace, the bureaucracy, and the ideologies of modern life. You haven't read this before. Luckily, you don't have time to do so now either. Generally, the book has a rather rough tone about democracy. A quote you've heard before from this book pops up towards the end. Those who believe in democracy have a wonderful view of folk, to think them capable of making rational and informed decisions devoid of personal bias and emotional conduct. From what you remember, it caused quite the stir when it came out 2 years ago. Quite anti-democratic. No wonder people were upset to have a magistrate use such terrible language. All right, last book. You pick up the Dark Book of Shadow by the Shadow Lord. You pick up the black covered tome. A faint tingle goes through your gloved hand. That's the most evil book I've ever seen. How did they get that cover to be that black? It's like a void. Thick graphene. That is how they create the darkness on the cover. A memory lingers in this tome. If you open it, you shall recall. Open it despite its evil nature. The text is not dangerous. The pages show but a holy scripture of the Shadow Lord's lost religion, of the eternal servitude and the search for life in death. However, you remember it well. This was the first book you were ordered to study as punishment for your idiotic behavior at the towers. You remember. Your first journey towards the esoteric. Let's recall it. Yes, we're going to definitely recall it. How liberating it was to know beyond any doubt how much greatness hid within your mind. Blurred faces, hushed whispers, a crowd of thoughtful peers, each snickering about your hand. A raised hand among a crowd of sheep. Patriarch. It's not just a religious text. They stare at you. It's a spell book. Those were the words. Oh, how they laughed. He asked you to prove yourself. So you did. I went up to the patriarch. I took the Book of Shadows. Yes. And then memorize detect ailment. You memorized it on the spot. Then you cast that ancient spell once used by the Death Knights of the Shadow Lord to subjugate and control the mind of his people. A spell that is, despite its first level, not learned by most clerics until they grasp the intricacies of the higher tier castings. Everyone was left stunned by your excellence. To not only master such a spell, but to do it in seconds instead of days. That moment, it was yours. From that moment, you marked your place at the towers as the greatest spellcaster, the greatest talent among them all. However, as always, the weak fear the strong. That moment also began your ostracization. You would never be among them, never have peers. None would see you in any way as a brother or a comrade. I would be a leader. I would be an enemy. I would be an obstacle. I would be their end. I would be their leader. You are. And you shall continue to be. Grasp for air. Your vision is blurry. It is filled by the pages of that book. It is a good one, despite its religious fervor. As many say, the Shadow Lord was as much an early arcanist as he was the greatest of the walking gods. All right. Tiny dictator. Okay. A dream patch, small amounts of pixie essence incorporated into a sticky patch. It can be used to recover 3rd level spell slots. Oh, that's nice. That'll help me with healing. Tiny dictator. An unsieved servant magically attuned to a feather, pencil, and paper. It will write down everything spoken within 10 feet. The content disappears off the page as it writes. The servant can follow commands to write down specific topics, keep notes. These are very common in the halls of the palace, where words can ruin lives, or worse, careers. 2 intelligence. Okay. Interesting. All right, we've now done everything. This is a scholar, curse gods. I'm just going to say hello. Oh. He moans and slowly opens his bushy eyes. His confused gaze focuses on you. Life is pain. You glare at him. I say, what? What? Terrible, terrible pain. Oh, he mutters and rubs his face. The wrinkles fold over one another like waves on a storied sea. Are you? He looks at you with his weary expression. Then he rubs his nose and sniffs twice. Are you here for the invoice? A quick glance to Snell. His words come out in a stilted halfling accent. I'm going to just say what again instead of no. The invoice. I don't have any invoice. Not for you, at least. Lean over to Snell. Should I have an invoice? I'm going to lean over to Snell. No. No? No. Oh. Oh, hold on. I've already paid that invoice. You're here for something different? He leans in, facing Snell. I hope Queen Goblin has no quarrel with this old scholar. He holds up his palm. Nah, we're here on city business. Yes, we mostly have questions about the tea shop. Mostly. I'm exploring random buildings and yours was unlocked. I mean, that would be the completely truthful, but we're going to say tea shop. Tea shop? Then you are dealing with interesting events. The city has seen its fair share of great calamities over the years, and the tea shop explosion appears tiny in comparison. Tiny? It's a huge conspiracy. Probably, but I have some questions regardless. We're going to say that. Of course. Curiosity is absolutely vital for keeping the old brain in motion, so I commend you, cleric. And you as well, my goblin friend. He looks around, grunting. Can I get either of you some fucking water, or... He wields swear words like coastal winds. You like the guy. He's kind of like a rabid dog. Hey, rabid dog. Anyway, he'll never watch this video, so he won't know the difference. Without the biting so far. No, thank you. Your companion replies very quickly. You're Scholar Appledent, right? Me? Yes. I am Schnorr Appledent, he says, and bows his head in the chair. Scholar of Ford Nip University in dedicated service to the progression of AIS. AIS is short for Ailment Intent Studies. It is a very specialized field of study that focuses on the esoteric effect of alignment, its practical uses, and the various ways to interact with it. But what exactly do you do? Many things. Primarily, my expertise lands on the topic of alignment and its many historical and contemporary applications. Some bullshit, I will tell you. These days, I mostly deal with other forms of study. Specifically, I run this office here on the experimental technique of psychoanalysis. What kind of magic is that? No magic at all. Although there has been some detect thoughts involved at some points in the development. It is a form of mind healing, as they call it. I'll be the one to call it support instead. It is essentially the idea that the mental present is shaped by the mental past, and although through dialogue, I don't know where I read that, and through dialogue, our unreleased unconscious ghosts can be vanquished. An exorcism, so it's talking about your feelings. Can't you just cast a healing spell? It's talking about your feelings. I know, truly horrifying. A Reedsian friend of mine once told me this joke, and I apologize if it's too vulgar for your taste, but he spurtles out the words through little chortles. We're just going to listen to the vulgar joke. Right. A cleric, an arcanist, and a rogue delve into the lair of a succubus. The fiend defeats all three men, throwing them in her dungeon. But she grows to fancy them, so she offers them a choice. For each man who can successfully satisfy her, she will let that man go. Otherwise, he speaks with little fits of laughter in between. She ends them, so to say. You actually haven't heard this one. Oh, good. Ho 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 ho. A succubus, just a fiend would never offer such turns to mortal men. What a rambunctious tale. Do go on. Not along. Okay, I regret this. I'll skip the joke, please. Nope, let's go on. So the three adventurers debate in which order to go. Eventually, the rogue and arcanist decide the cleric should go first, as he is a virgin and he will be least likely to increase her standards. Your goblin companion rubs his eyes as he listens to this joke. The cleric, being divine, and so on, prays to his god and goes to the fiend's bedchambers. He comes out 10 minutes later completely unharmed and gives a thumbs up to his friends, who are, of course, both feel a great sense of relief. The arcanist goes in next, confident and arrogant. If the cleric could do it, the fiend must be easy. Within minutes, his bones roll out of the bedchamber entrance, the man having been incinerated by hellish flames. The rogue is horrified, but realizes, obviously, the arcanist overestimated his abilities, so he carefully enters the bedchamber, ready to put every ounce of effort into it. Less than a minute later, screams erupt from the bedchamber, and the rogue's lifeless corpse falls out of the entrance. The cleric prays for the souls of his comrade and gathers their remains for burial. The succubus steps out, smoking a cigarette. She tells the cleric, "My, your friends were truly terrible. They were just fumbling about down there. At least you managed to touch it a little. To which the cleric responds, "You are truly an awful creature, and I will pray for your presence to be exorcised from this plane of existence every day until the day I die." Then before he walks away, the cleric also adds, "Oh, but I did heal that horrible wound you had between your legs. Hopefully that makes you less evil in the future." Wow. The goblin lets out a slight gust of wind through his nose. Funny. The halfling chortles loud. My kind of humor, you might say. In short, you can view the succubus as an evil in the world which religious fervor would pray to repair. However, such reparations could often lead to a not so optimal path. He keeps on laughing. Or, most simply, you could say it's a basic allegory for alignment itself. The cleric meant well for all intents, but his actions cost the lives of both his comrades. Is that evil, or is it good? And so on. Either way, psychoanalysis, yes, that's what we were talking about. It's about your feelings, thoughts, memories, choices you made, things that you had happen to you, and can bog you down, so to say. And the goal in my clinic practice is to root out in my patients' minds and help them be aware of repressed negative baggage, if you will, so one can move forward more speedily. I don't have any repressed negative feelings. Sounds like removing a curse of the mind. I don't really care. I'm going to say sounds like removing a curse of, in a metaphorical sense, yes. But it's not the only thing I work on here. I am currently exploring the dream of animus. That's something to do with the masculinity and femininity based on Civitic's ideas. A dream of man and woman. You explore men and women. You dream about men and women. Sounds interesting. I'm going to say you dream about men and women. Sometimes. But the dream is just a concept of understanding gender ideologies. Beyond that, I also focus a lot on my own unverified theories. He slaps his knee and grins. The folk spirit. Have you heard of it? Sounds like a collective folk view on morality. No, I have not. Is that some kind of unified moral or ethical code of people of culture? I'm going to say no, I have not. Understandable. It's not published yet. The folk spirit is the working title for my new thesis. Most of it is, if you excuse my anoram, fucking bullshit. But in short, it is about how each folk share a number of core communal archetypes or myths. I have traveled around the coast to collect as many tales, written down thousands of stories previously only passed down orally, all to see how well my theory holds up in the minds of so many folk. He clears his throat and leans back in his chair. Apologies, I'm ranting here. Let us put a stop to this. What do you want, cleric? That's a long list of things. Can you give me some mind healing? I want to inquire about this folk spirit. You are an expert in alignment, huh? How does death and resurrection work with all this stuff? Why do you use magic in your mind healing? What is love? What is love? Oh, baby, don't hurt me. Oh. What do you know about the tea shop? Let's start there. What did you know about Oh, horrific. He gestures wildly toward the rocky wall. Shit started shaking. It was as if the red rock of Tolstead itself was cracking. For half a second or so. So you were down here when it happened. Did you go to check it out? Let's start with you were... Yes, he was down here when... I think I was asleep, but the sound woke me up. Did you go to check it out? No. Someone told me later what it was like. I have work to do here. Did you hear anything about it? Rumors? You should not believe rumors, cleric. But yes, I did hear some nasty stuff. Some people seem to think the owner did it himself since he is missing. Some others think the city did it since they printed a clear lie in the post. I've also heard people say the Agilus did it, are responsible since it was their hideout. or that the Free Striders did it for the same reason, blowing up Agilus opposition and so on. It's all bullshit, of course. Don't believe any rumors. What do you think happened? He shrugs violently. I've got some other questions. Good. What are you voting in the next? I'm a filthy Asgulus. Why do you call it filthy? Have you ever seen a clean Asgulus? Ho ho. He laughs at his own joke. The green banner is flowing in a strange context here in the Republican wet dream of ours. Agilism is supposed to be about abolishing the entire structure of hierarchy. That history is driven by economic struggles, specifically the clash between classes. Agilus' end goal is classless, stateless society where everyone's equal. But looking at the Norvokian Agilus, it's clear to me they long ago let this goal slip past. Look at them. They are shaking hands with the establishment, trying to find a peaceful solution, as they say. You want violent revolution? They are simply becoming part of the establishment. Peace is good. We need violent. You want violent resolution? He frowns. Look, the hairy halfling mutters. Genuine change, true change, needs a true revolutionary breakthrough with the existing order. There is no doubt about that. Incremental reforms, small changes within the capitalist system will always fail to address its fundamental contradictions and injustices. My time in Reeds made that clear to me. But always be wary of simplistic utopian visions. It is a path covered in corpses that leads to such blind idealism. So I will vote for this social democratic compromise, this handshake with capital. Then I'll go home and piss myself and die, dreaming the next generation will have answers I do not. A compromise is good enough for now. I hope the next generation votes for violent revolution. Any agilism is too much agilism. You should all be run out of the city. I, on the other hand, am not an agilist. I'm just going to say compromise is good enough for now. You'd think I'd agree. Part of me does. You are no longer apolitical. I'm an agilist now. Gain 100 points for changing your political stance. But I do truly hate this idea of tipping the hat to these truly fascist regimes. And yes, even the revolutionary free striders are fascist in a deep sense. How do you think they got their start? Through the coin of those who profited in the great suffering of old Dimenor, in the Cold Coast War, in grinding the flesh of humanity. So what? We don't even try to bring about Asgul's dream? Free Striders are more than that. They are the ones who started this election, who got this election started. Free Striders are truly terrifying. Well, if that's true, they make elections happen when they are able to win them. That is both opportunism and imperialism at its worth. With a deep groan, he starts rubbing his hairy face. Workers unite and unionize, and guild power. It is all well and good until it gets too loud. Make a bit too much noise, and the true power quickly and efficiently drops this illusionary mask facade. The esoteric spell that tricks us into thinking they care, or that they are in any way Focatarian, concerned with or seeking to promote the welfare of all folk around the coast. So what about you, cleric? I could go, I'm entirely apolitical. That's what I'm going to do. I see. You are the agent of complete narcissism. Maybe. What's it to you? I don't even know what that word. Your comment doesn't even faze me. I know what the word means and it hurts. Maybe. What's it to you? You keep aligning yourself as apolitical. I gained 20 more XP. Nothing. It's just boring to talk with someone who doesn't hold any real views. Also, calling me a gnome is going to... So I'm going to try to insult you. Fair. That was a blunder. He sniffs. Now, for something else, before I start ranting about the suffragette movement. Your companion glances at you. No, please. I really, really want to talk about this suffragettes. Yeah, let's get to some questions. All right. Can you give me some mind healing? Can you give your thoughts on the Clanland ordeal? I have some personal questions. Let's do some mind healing. Of course. I am, however, a bit swamped in work right now. I will get you booked in a slot. I have time after the election. Can't you make time now? Okay, I'll do that. No, I'm afraid not. Truth be told, I'm very overworked. I'm struggling with a certain topic. He makes a noise that might have once been a cough. The old man is frustrated. He's trying to avoid even thinking about it. What? I'm focusing on a specific idea of civetics. The idea of two opposite faces of your ego, masculine and feminine. But I just can't seem to get past a certain hurdle, an obstacle. Explain, Lucy. Is he going to keep talking no matter what I do? I'm just going to say explain. You see, there is a work called Book of the Mind. It is, in my opinion, Civitic's masterpiece in the figurative sense. Oh, is it like a secret book, hidden deep in some dungeon? Sounds nerdy. Figurative? I said a secretive book. Oh no, I own several copies. There is a rare edition of this book, which contains a rumored so-called final foreword from Civitix himself. In the foreword, he apparently reveals a revelation about his categorization of the psyche, specifically on the topic of gender. Might be nothing, but it would be highly interesting to get my grubby hands on it. He leans in and whispers, and more importantly, it would bring me great pleasure to know how much Civitix would be spinning in whatever Thasian mass grave he's buried in if he knew a halfling like myself was pioneering in his footsteps. Ho ho ho. He wasn't a fan. Understand, you guys are pretty weird. You want to develop his eyes. He wasn't a fan. Like most humans of his era, he was very, let's say, humanity first. Dura leans back in his chair. This final 6th edition of the book, it was only printed in 10 copies. The publisher then hiked up the price in order to sell it to collectors. Those collectors have been then spent the last 3 decades using these copies as a form of investment, making sure to keep the content of that forward a tightly guarded secret. Oh, thanks, Constitution. Reading is boring. That's what Constitution has said. How terrible. A scholar's words should be freely available. Smart in a way of making money. If it's about gender, then it's better to keep it a secret. Smart way of making money. No doubt, like any good capitalistic method, it sucks value from a work like mosquito sand. So what do you want? You want me to find this rare book? I don't think I could afford that. You should save up money and buy one if that's what you want. He nods. I said, do you want me to find this rare book? I drank a bit too much the other night, and in my desperation, I paid a diviner to cast Locate Object for me. I didn't expect anything, and it was very expensive. However, she actually found it. A copy of the 6th edition book of The Mind is here, very close to Waterlane View. And she even told me the exact directions. He points to the floor, about 40 meters straight down. Meters? Is it the city below? And you trust this diviner. What's the name of this diviner? That sounds like a quest. We're gonna ask what was the name. Lisa, I believe. He sniffs. She used to have a hut up on top of the Free Strider building. I wandered away, I think. Wandered? He makes little walking motions with his fingers. Skadoodled, as they say. That's very strange. An esoteric house. She seems kind. I hope she stops working for those fucking parasites. Meters. You trust this diviner? Well, I trust Trust might be a strong word, but she was connected to the Free Striders, and while they are ruthless capitalists, they would not keep a scam artist around. Or if they did, it would be very funny, of course. Is it in the city below? Yes, exactly. Meters. Right. That is something like 100 feet, 150 maybe. Sorry, the diviner was a Free Strider. You know how they're like in Reed's silly decimal people. Sounds like a quest. Sure, why not? So many side quests, Snell mutters to himself. Delve into the dangerous tunnels below and get me that book. Don't get yourself killed, and in exchange I will... Well, what the fuck kind of reward do you want? You swear a lot. I want you to teach me how to be a man. I want you to heal my broken mind. That's what I want. I don't know. Do you have a magic item or something? No, I want you to heal my broken mind. Impossible. No one can fix another's minds. I can promise support, but no guarantee. Choose something else. You have a magic items? I have books in droves. You know what? He says and snaps his finger. The book itself. It's expensive and probably magical in some sense. Get me the book. Let me take a look at the foreword, and you can keep the book afterwards. That's still a quest, right? It sounds wonderful. I love quests. So you can't offer me anything else, something else too. But I don't have to even return to you in that case. I could just take the book and go. We're going to say it sounds wonderful. I am not an expert in what kind of weird shit is down there, but the city below is dangerous, so don't wander blindly. Good luck, cleric. All right. I don't really want to ask him any more questions, and I'm going to have to come back to him. So let's, I think we've got everything that we need from there. And I think the video is running a bit on the late side. But I keep looking. No one can dismiss the dwarves' architectural genius. Okay. I think I'm going to stop here. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you are enjoying Snell and the cleric. And we shall see you all next time. Bye!